Let's talk running back sleepers heading into 2022. And before you get all upset when I say that a second round player can be a sleeper, a third round player, a middle round player, before you go,
Smitty, you can't call a second rounder a sleeper.
Yes, I can, and I just did, and I will, and I'll continue to. Because in my world at thefantasyfootballshow.com, and I build all my content around bold predictions and sleeper breakout candidates. In my world, a sleeper is defined by the tag you put in front of it. Deep sleeper, second round sleeper, middle round sleeper, deep sleeper. It doesn't matter as long as you identify what kind of sleeper you're talking about. A player being slept on, you just have to clarify it's an early round sleeper, a second round sleeper. In my world, we do it. You don't have to like it, but you should. We're talking running back sleepers across the board. Second round down to deep double-digit range. Tony Pollard, Tyler Algiere. We're talking about guys like that right now. The Fantasy Football Show. It begins right now.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Take a lap.
Let's begin with Tony Pollard because Tony Pollard could be a top 6 to 10 running back in fantasy football 2022. He really can be. Going in like the 85 to 95 range, there's nothing but upside. In fact, the risk is all completely baked in. There are very few running backs that I like more than Tony Pollard in that deep, like 28 to 35 running back territory where there's no risk at all. It's baked in. Somehow people believe that Elliott has more value than Pollard in 2022. Maybe early on that will be the case, but I ventured to say that by mid-season, week 7, week 8, somewhere around that range, we will be seeing an equal divide in carries in a worst case scenario for Tony Pollard believers. Zeke Elliott has near 1,700 total rushing attempts to his name. Zeke Elliott clearly is showing decline when you watch the film. If you owned him last year, you know he started off kind of strong, did really well. We liked him at the beginning of the year, but he started to fall apart. He started to slow down, and there's definite signs that will continue given the workload, how old he is, how good Tony Pollard is, and how good he looks when he comes in the game to spell Elliott. And when you spell a player and do better than said player, you typically grab more and more workload. Tony Pollard can average over 5 yards per carry in this Dallas offense. He's electric. Yards per carry, yards after contact. This guy could be a top 6 to 10 across the board in all those categories if he's getting volume. Is there a chance Zeke Elliott doesn't go away or doesn't go away very easily and he kind of lingers all year and Tony Pollard never really gets a full unlocked workload? Yeah. And that's why he falls into the 85 to 95 overall value range, people. The risk is completely baked in. Boys. There are very few players I am more excited about than Mr. Tony Pollard. And I beg you, when you get near that 8 to 9 round range, and you don't like a lot of the players you're staring at, you don't really care about that wide receiver 4. You're trying to convince yourself to grab a running back crowded inside a running back by committee, but one that feels like he's the lead dog in the committee. I implore you to grab Tony Pollard because he can be a solid contributor even if getting in a worst case scenario half the workload halfway through the year. If he climbed in value, let's say Zeke got hurt in the next couple weeks and then Pollard started getting all the run with the ones, he might climb to like 5 or 6 round value. He definitely could. If news broke in any way that catered to this man being a starter in 2022, or maybe looking down the road where you can see it, the potential starting job, he's going to climb multiple rounds, double in value. That's why it's important in best ball, and you can go play best ball right here by going to thefantasyfootballshow.com. Click on the Underdog banner that I got at the top heading of my site. It's linked to promo code Smitty. Use promo code Smitty if you don't. Click on the link. And in best ball, you can take advantage of Tony Pollard falling to this like 9, even sometimes 10 round range in best ball. Sometimes best ball ADPs are a little different. In the case of Tony Pollard, it's probably going to be a good kind of different. Tony Pollard can win you a league. Tony Pollard can't hurt you from 9, 10. He can't hurt you. He can't hurt you. He can only help you. He can only be a good bye-week filler. If you get desperate at running back and you need somebody to get you 7 points, you could throw him in. This is your worst-case scenario, and he's priced right at that worst-case scenario type of value. It wins leagues. There are no running backs in the 8, 9, 10 round ranges other than maybe Madison, maybe A.J. Dillon. We'll talk about those guys in a second, that possibly hold bigger upside, bigger swing potential, bigger home run potential than Tony Pollard. You have no excuse not to take him in the 85 to 95 overall value range in 2022 fantasy football drafts. Best ball, dynasty, redraft, doesn't matter. Dynasty, he'll cost a little bit more, but not that much more because there's no real certainty around his future. And even I feel that way. Like, I don't know that he's got like this grip on the future job in Dallas. I like him more in redraft than I do dynasty. I still attack him in dynasty, but I'm more about the now value for Pollard. And if he does get the job and explodes, he'll probably start the next year. Again, there is a chance Zeke Elliott still has a little bit left in the tank, more than I expect. It's possible. And in a very late running back 2 strategy, if Zeke Elliott fell, and I don't think he will because people are grabbing him in like the 3rd and 4th round, which is ridiculously high. If for any reason he fell into a deeper area of your draft, you could cuff the two together and have a pretty good running back too. But given where Zeke Elliott's going on average, I'd rather take a different player. I'd rather take a DK Metcalf in round 4, a Kenneth Walker in round 5 or 6, a Jalen Waddle in round 4. Give me all of those players, a Joe Burrow in round 4, 5, preferably top of 5, and then take Pollard and have both of those guys, the best of both worlds, versus having Elliott and Tony Pollard. Pollard all day. Pollard to the moon. Let's go. Get on your horse. Tony Pollard, please report to the moon. This next guy I absolutely love, Tyler Algiere in Atlanta, rookie running back. Dude's at a BYU, 5'11", about 220. Big boy. This is a prototypical build for a running back. This is like the Ronnie Browns and the Arian Foster type frame. Bruiser between the tackles. He's got speed. I think he can develop to become a 3-down back. They'll definitely use Cordero Patterson a lot near the goal line and in terms of receiving the football, but they want to, reportedly, the Falcons move Cordero back to a more traditional wide receiver role. Why do they want to do that, do you think? Because they might like this kid Tyler Algiere. They cut Mike Davis. The backfield's wide open with a plan of attack to actually move Cordero back to a wide receiver role. Now, if Tyler Algiere gets the 1st and 2nd down work, because it appears they want to do that, the Falcons are opening the door to this idea. It's all up to him at that point. If he delivers, if he comes out and becomes the player they believe he is, and I do believe they believe in him. I believe in him. They believe in him. You need to believe in him because the dude has the ability between the tackles to be that huge workhorse, traditional type running back. And he costs you absolutely nothing. In Dynasty, he goes in the 3rd round in rookie only drafts. And I take him in the 2nd round because I don't care. And in redraft, he's like running back 50. Running back 50 to 55. He goes about 160 to 170 overall. Are you kidding me? That means a lot of you probably don't even draft him. If your rosters are kind of small or medium sized, you won't even get to Tyler Algiere in your drop down list. You'll never even see him. Win a league running back costs you nothing. He can be your last running back on your bench, but he can win you a league if he gets in there. Tyler Algiere, you are Smitty approved, good buddy. I'm not going to touch on this one very long because a lot of these, you can't call a big name player a sleeper, Smitty.
You just can't do it, Smitty.
Those people are going to get mad at me, but Javonte Williams is a big name sleeper. Javonte Williams is a 2nd round hiding monster, a guy that's going to drop, in my opinion, a top 3 running back season on all of you that keep getting all scared about Melvin Gordon. The phantom fear of Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon is Nyheim Hines from last year. Nyheim Hines is Melvin Gordon this year. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. I don't want to hear that Nyheim Hines and Melvin Gordon are different. I don't care if they have a different kind of role. People were scared to draft Jonathan Taylor above 9 or 10 overall last year, and he often fell to 15 or 18, the exact range Javonte's falling in. And Javonte, too, was a top 5 pick to most people before Melvin Gordon re-signed. This all makes him a sleeper breakout candidate from the second round. You draft Javonte anywhere in round 2, 2.1. If you got the 12th pick, draft him at 2.1. Anywhere in the second round. You have the 10th pick, draft him at 15. Anywhere in round 2, he can win you a league. He can win you a league at 9. Anywhere in round 2, you are baking in so much value. Javonte,
to the moon.
To the moon.
Javonte Williams, please report to the moon.
Of course, Javonte, you know you are Smitty approved. I know calling Javonte a sleeper is going to irk so many people, and the people won't be able to understand my explanation. They won't be able to accept my explanation. They're just going to get mad. Watch. It's kind of fun. Kenneth Walker.
To the moon.
To the moon. What more can I say that I haven't said already?
But Smitty, Kenny Walker didn't catch passes in college. That means he can't be good at PPR.
This irks me more than anything, but it also makes me excited because I know we're going to get Kenny Walker at a screaming steal all offseason long because people can't look past a stat sheet or what other people continue to regurgitate. Kenny Walker has every tool that you want in a running back to become not just a good PPR back, but the best PPR back. He's number 1 in elusiveness in all of college football for every running back that came out last year or this year. Number 1. Elusive rated running back according to Pro Football Focus. Number 2 in yardage. Number 1 in forced missed tackles. This man is an open space magician. He navigates to open spaces across the field like Forrest Gump, running one direction, completely turning and making an L-shaped run, then running back the other direction. This guy's like Forrest Gump on the field. He finds open spaces everywhere he turns. He gets pulled toward it like a magnet. That is what you want in a PPR back. You want your PPR back to be able to catch the football. He proved he has the hands at the combine. If you can't see that he has the hands, I can't help you. He can pull in the football. Proven at the combine. Accept it. Use your eyeballs. If you don't believe me, go watch film on him catching the football. He can catch fine. They didn't throw it to him. He was a little busy, racking up 150 to 200 yards on the ground a game, getting 2 and 3 and 4 touchdown games. He was a little busy to do your little PPR experiment when they didn't want him to catch footballs in college for whatever reason. They didn't want it. They didn't do it. They didn't exploit it. Doesn't mean he can't catch the football. Zeke Elliott came out of college without catching the football, and people were alarmed. They said Zeke won't be able to pull in the football. He won't be a PPR guy. Zeke was a PPR guy because if you used your eyeballs, and your boy Smitty talked about it, you could tell he could catch the football just fine. He had all the attributes that would make a good PPR back. He just didn't get utilized. Kenneth Walker is the exact 100% replica of Elliott coming out of college in terms of the PPR stuff. With their top 3 draft selections, they drafted 2 offensive linemen and Kenneth Walker. They want to run the football. I'm not scared of Rashad Penny. Penny's had a lot of time to impress us, and he hasn't. He's had a lot of time to prove he can stay healthy. He hasn't. I'm not scared of Penny. Penny's had trouble staying healthy. Both backs have been banged up, to be fair, right now early on, but I'm not worried about either one, Penny's injury or Kenneth Walker's hamstring injury. Neither concern me yet, but what I do know is Penny has had a lot of time to prove himself. He's on a 1-year deal, and the team just invested in Kenny Walker. This whole notion that teams are gonna continue to use their other backs, like the Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams thing, it's scaring people into thinking that coaches don't know where the talent lies. In the case of Javonte, you got Russell Wilson, a championship caliber team, and people think they still don't want to use their best running back. Just wait, get your popcorn ready and wait. Same thing with Kenny Walker. And maybe in week 1, him and Penny split time. Maybe Penny gets 60% of the work in week 1, 2, and maybe even 3. Maybe it takes until week 4 or 5 or 6 before Walker's getting 80%, 75% of the work. I'm fine with that. It prevents him from hitting a rookie wall. I'm okay with this. Kenny Walker will be unleashed at some point during the season, the early part of the season, if not in week 1. Maybe Penny's not even healthy in week 1. Kenny Walker falls to round 6, 7, and 8. I have people that DM me on the daily, or email me, or leave me a text message on my text line, which you can get at thefantasyfootballshow.com, and they say, Smitty, I got Kenneth Walker at round 8. Hey, Smitty, I got Kenny Walker around 9. Hey, Smitty, Kenny Walker's falling to 7 or 8. Why are you taking him in round 6 all the time? Honestly, I don't know. I'm impatient. Every time I try and wait past round 6, I can't. I just scoop him up in round 6, and maybe I need to take a lap because I'm not maximizing value. I'm doing exactly what I tell you not to do, which is reach on a player when you don't need to. But you know what? Kenny Walker's well worth a 6th-round pick. It's well worth, in my opinion, the reason I do reach, grabbing Kenny Walker in round 6 to avoid somebody else that knows what's going on from scooping him up in round 6, and then I think I can wait an extra round. What's a round? I don't care. When he can be a top 5 to 10 running back, and I truly believe Kenny Walker can be a top 5 to 10 running back. Why risk it? The difference between a 6th and a 7th rounder, I don't care. I don't care what value I could lose there when this player can be a top 5 to 10 running back. That's a very, very insignificant reach to me, and I'll reach every single time. You won't find me allowing Kenny Walker in any draft. I don't care if his ADP is 7 to 8. You won't find me passing on Kenny Walker in round 6 ever. Now, don't take him in 4 because I'm calling him a top 5 to 10 running back, and you come back and you say, Smitty,
I did exactly what you said. I took Kenneth Walker in round 3. You better be right, or you're going to pay.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying take Kenneth Walker in round 6. Later, if you want to toy around with it. And in best ball, if you go to thefantasyfootballshow.com, click on the Underdog banner, or use promo code Smitty. The Underdog banner on thefantasyfootballshow.com is linked to my promo code. But if you go play these Best Ball Mania 3s where there's $10 million in prizes, $10 million, go play. When you go play these Best Ball Mania 3s, this dude is going Kenneth Walker in round 6 and 7, and it's wonderful. It's glorious. It's absolutely unbelievable. League-winning potential. And if we're all in there scooping up Kenny Walker in round 6 and 7, I think one of us is going to win one of these big prizes. And I'll be so proud of you guys if one of you from my community wins first place, which is $2 million over at Underdog. If you go to thefantasyfootballshow.com, click on the Underdog banner, and play these Best Ball Mania 3s is what it's called. You can enter as many times as you want. It's $25 to enter. Use promo code Smitty or click the link at thefantasyfootballshow.com so we can make sure we know you came from my community. But first place is $2 million, second place is $1 million. There's prizes all the way down the way, but they're literally paying thousands of dollars all the way down to like 470th place, I think. So you have a chance of winning a big amount of money, and to win like $2 million or $1 million for first and second place. Can you imagine? And I think there are identifiable players like Kenneth Walker that can help us get there as a community to win at least one of the big prizes, like somewhere in that like top 200 overall range where somebody's getting paid thousands of dollars because Kenny Walker's getting on his horse and going
to the moon.
To the moon. Kenny Walker, you are 100% Smitty approved and are absolutely a running back sleeper in 2022. Rashad White. God, Rashad White. I love Rashad White. I love that Leonard Fournette is so overhyped right now. Leonard Fournette showed up overweight, dropping footballs, yet people are still drafting him in the second round. The second round, 2.12. In our mock drafts, we have a few people fighting with me time and time again, calling Leonard Fournette worth it in round 2 to 3, in the turn area of 2 to 3. No way. I wouldn't draft Leonard Fournette in round 4. It's not that I don't like Fournette at all. If he fell to the right value, like there's a line in the sand, I'm just never going to see it. It's not that I don't like Fournette. I just like DK and Waddle and other players so much more, handfuls of players where Fournette's going. I like Kenneth Walker in round 5 or 6 more than I like drafting Fournette in round 2 or 3. At the end of 3, I'd rather take Kenneth Walker in round 5 and take DK or Waddle and get a wide receiver and then attack my running back later than to go down the route of having to get Fournette. And you can say, Smitty,
why don't you just cuff Rashad White to him and then you're good?
Hey, Bob, I got a better idea. Why not take DK Metcalf I'll steal Rashad White and snipe him from you anyway, and I'm going to have the best of both worlds. I'll have Rashad White, I'll have DK Metcalf or Waddle, pick your poison, and then I'll have Kenny Walker. I'd rather go down that road, Bob. Thank you very much. Rashad White, PPR monster, best receiving running back in the 2022 NFL draft class by far. You could go as far as to say, after a couple wide receivers, he's the best receiver, the best hands in the entire 2022 NFL draft class. In the top 5, maybe. Throwing all the running backs and wide receivers together, top 5. He's a taller version of Alvin Kamara. Watch his film. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you haven't watched his film. When you watch film on Rashad White, you are left scratching your head as to why other people don't see what we see, which is that he has top 10 potential.
Smitty, you just like every rookie running back, don't you?
You know, I do like rookie running backs. I do. I don't buy into every single one of them. But Kenny Walker, Breece Hall, Rashad White are very special. And Algiere's the later, deeper grab. He's not locked into any kind of, cemented guarantee. He's got a lot of home run potential, no doubt about it. Rashad White is coming for Lenny's job. He even said when he got there in Tampa, I'm not here to be a backup. I'm here to be a starter. And what did Lenny Fournette's response? Rashad White, you're Smitty approved, buddy. Alexander Madison, of course he can win you a league, snag him in the later rounds if he gets in there. He plays like a top 10 running back. Alexander Madison, Smitty approved. Ramondre Stevenson, love him. Harris will be the starter out the gate, but I love Ramondre. He's a big-time sleeper. Smitty approved. A.J. Dillon, sleeper. Look, Aaron Jones is now getting drafted in the 18 to 25 overall range. On the regular, that makes A.J. Dillon a bona fide sleeper candidate. And that's not to say Aaron Jones will fail. Personally, I think if the Green Bay Packers want to succeed, they got to throw the ball to this kid, Aaron Jones, 70 to 80 times, or give him 70 to 80 receptions, rather. So I think he could ball out. But A.J. Dillon will naturally be discounted because of the climbing value of Aaron Jones. Typically, a backup's just going to go down if the starter increases in value. So this is good news. Win a league potential, top 10 running back potential, not guaranteed anything, but A.J. Dillon, Smitty approved. Dameon Pierce is a pretty good sleeper candidate. He doesn't have much ahead of him. He's going around like running back 50. I like him in Houston. Smitty approved. Khalil Herbert in Chicago, very, very deep. Almost like cuff only for Montgomery owners, but in a very deep league, you may grab him in hopes that he can get a couple starts. I like Khalil Herbert. Ty Davis-Price and Trey Sermon kind of cuffed together, but Ty Davis-Price, I almost feel like it's a guarantee he's going to start a couple games minimum, and I like him between the tackles. I think they could move Mitchell to the Mostert role, 10 to 12 carries a game, and run Ty Davis-Price right up the middle, 15, 18 times a game. Don't be shocked if this kid's starting a handful of games, half of a year. Smitty approved. Kyron Williams broke his foot. Now, that sounds worse than it probably is. Sometimes you can break a small bone in the foot, but we'll monitor him. But I like him a lot late in a big draft. Hassan Haskins in Tennessee. Why not? Smitty approved. Tyler Batty in Baltimore, rookie running back. Look, Gus Edwards, ACL. J.K. Dobbins, ACL. Traded away Hollywood Brown. They want to run the ball more. Tyler Batty seems to fit the bill here. Smitty approved. Now, there could be a few more that I left out, and I'm sorry. Drop your favorite sleeper running back in the comments below. Get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com for all your rankings, bold predictions, my trade calculator, my one-on-one text advice, thefantasyfootballshow.com. If you buy a top-level membership of the lifetime variety, I will throw in 2 years of free text advice on demand. I carry around 2 phones. I got my main phone with me, I've got my work phone, and it's an actual line. I walk around all day. Yeah, I'll get milk, Miss Smitty, I got it. Oh, yeah, Bob, make that trade right now. Do it now, take a lap. No, not you, Miss Smitty, you don't take a lap. Order my text line at thefantasyfootballshow.com. And as I mentioned, over on thefantasyfootballshow.com, click this Underdog banner that's linked to my promo code Smitty. Use promo code Smitty if you venture on over to Underdog without my link. but go play best ball. Go draft these players like Kenneth Walker and Javonte and DK and Waddle and Burrow and all these players that can win you a league from these ridiculous ADPs. Go now. Play the Best Ball Mania 3. It's $25 a team, and you can enter as many times as you want. $10 million in prizes. We're all going to be lumped together. Once you make it out of week 14 from your group of 12 that you draft with, it's like a mini season, weeks 1 through 14. If you get first place through week 14, then you go to week 15 to the qualifying round and the semifinal and then the final round. So your team could face off against my team. We're all in it together, trying to be the number one top place finisher. $2 million bag to first place, $1 million to second place, and prizes that are in the thousands all the way to like 400 and something place. It's going to be phenomenal. Get involved. We're going to talk about it all year. I want you guys to share your best team that you drafted. I'll throw it. If I like it, DM me your team. If I like it, I'm going to throw it up on screen here. We're going to talk about it all year. Whose teams are looking good on the Best Ball Mania 3? Who's looking like they have the best shot at maybe pulling off a win and getting the highest place finish of our community so we can brag about it. Go there now, thefantasyfootballshow.com. Click the Underdog banner. Let's go. Oh, and you get a free phone call with me, 10 to 15 minutes. If you do it, show me proof that you did it, and I will dial you up. Now get out of here.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.